The latest turn in a historically volatile presidential race.
Americans know what they want to hear from President Obama in his State of the Union address.
I'm Frank Newport, Gallup editor-in-chief.
I'm Susan Page, Washington Bureau Chief for USA Today.
And this is Election Matters. Well, Susan, you're there in Tampa, Florida, and I guess there might have been even some doubt about whether you should even bother to show up for the debates down there, because a week or two ago we were saying, yeah, the race will probably be over, Romney will have it, no big deal in Florida, and all of a sudden you're at the epicenter of the presidential world down there, right?
You know, that's certainly true. We've seen this remarkable collapse of Mitt Romney's support nationwide and in Florida after that stunning defeat in South Carolina, and a second surge for Newt Gingrich.
Yeah, let's make a point here. This surge started for Gingrich actually before the actual results were in. Our latest 5-day average encompasses time before that, and it was probably having to do with the debates. There were 2 debates in South Carolina, and we saw the movement nationally before that, and of course the movement has been solidified, and it's just remarkable. Remember, Romney, Susan, was ahead 24 points just a week or so ago. And now in our latest iteration, through Sunday, they were virtually tied, just 1 point separating them. So as you mentioned, once again, Gingrich did this coming into November and December. He moved ahead of Mitt Romney, then he collapsed. And now once again, he's moving up to where he's tied with Mitt Romney. It's just remarkable.
You know, it's one more case of Newt Gingrich taking advantage of these televised debates. We've had 16 of them so far, a 17th to 9th. And 18th on Thursday. We've never had so many debates in a primary season, and they have become the platform that Newt Gingrich has used. He's got an unconventional campaign. He doesn't have a big organization, or he hasn't had a big organization like Mitt Romney does. He's relied on these debates to reach out to voters, and it has really worked for him.
Yeah, the question for Romney's strategy team is what can he do about it? It's clear that the media and all of our data, as one example, are disliked by Republicans. Sorry to say this, Susan. Republicans, conservatives tend to think that the media are too liberal. So when Gingrich lashed out at the CNN moderator, John King, he was playing right into these preconceived notions and attitudes that the audience had there in South Carolina. They all cheered and so forth. The people stood up for it. Romney strategists are looking at all of this. What can he do?
Well, we've seen signs of Romney coming back tougher than he's been on Newt Gingrich, more negative. The first negative ad from the Romney campaign itself is on the air here in Florida, accusing Newt Gingrich of taking advantage of the housing crisis with his contract with Freddie Mac and contributing to the housing crisis, which of course is a big issue here. Florida is the state with the 7th highest rate of home foreclosure in the country. So that's an issue the Romney people think will hurt him. And just speaking with reporters this morning, Romney came out and suggested there might even be potentially unlawful activity in his representation of companies. Now, Romney didn't have any specifics on what he meant by that, but clearly a tougher line of attack than we've seen before.
Yeah, a couple of points about our data. The fact that Gingrich dropped so rapidly before when he was leading certainly suggests that it can happen again. So we have to just say now, we don't know what's going to happen, but we certainly know nothing's locked in, and Romney could come back, Gingrich could go ahead. We just don't know what's going to happen. Second, our data, Susan, show that it's among conservatives, week to week, that Gingrich gained the most. Actually, Romney stayed about the same among moderate and liberals, and also among older Republicans, and that's what we've seen previously. It's conservatives and older Republicans who are the ones that are moving around. They're the ones who jumped on Kaine and Perry, and now they're back and forth on Newt Gingrich.
But you know, one thing that's different from the prior times we've seen candidates surge and then fall back is that there are fewer candidates in the field. You know, just in the past week, John Huntsman got out, so did Rick Perry. We see Santorum support going down to 11% in the Gallup tracking survey. So it's clear that Gingrich is emerging as the alternative to Mitt Romney, and that is certainly, I think, helping him in terms of driving up his numbers.
Yeah, you know, we said this is historically new. Our Gallup data had shown that the candidate on the Republican side who was leading after the New Hampshire primary always went on to win the nomination in modern polling days. However, Susan, you and some of your other colleagues have pointed out that the Republican who won the South Carolina primary has also gone on to win the nomination. And obviously, one of those is Mitt Romney, one of those is Newt Gingrich. So history is going to be defied one way or the other this year.
And you know, another precedent we've often cited, the Republican nominee has always won either in Iowa or New Hampshire. And if Newt Gingrich or, some new white knight gets the nomination, that precedent will have fallen.
Yeah, this is going to be fascinating to follow. Meanwhile, President Obama is interjecting himself into this. Susan, State of the Union address, long scheduled for Tuesday night. We did some polling with USA Today, and it's pretty clear what Americans want the president to talk about, isn't it?
This is not going to surprise anybody in the country. It's the economy. 6 in 10 say that's the issue they want to hear about. Most the issue they're most concerned about. They're concerned largely about jobs. Jobs trumps the deficit when you talk about economic issues in this survey. But, you know, we also found very low expectations for things getting done in the next year, the things that President Obama will propose in the State of the Union address, and perhaps looking at how Congress has behaved in the past year, that's a wise view for Americans to take.
Indeed. We'll see if there's a bump that comes out of this from Obama. One last point, Susan, it's a juxtaposition here. Obama clearly is going to have this populist tone in his State of the Union address, how we got to, the 1% and the rich are getting richer, the rules aren't fair and all that. Guess what Mitt Romney is going to be doing at just about that same time, right? Releasing his return showing that he made $1 gazillion or whatever it's going to be in 2010.
Yeah, approximately a gazillion, maybe a gazillion and a half. Well, he's clearly a rich man. You know, we have had rich people run for president before and win. John Kennedy was wealthy. Others have also been wealthy. But, you know, one problem I think for Mitt Romney is if he comes to symbolize the 1%, the Wall Street types that Americans pretty much hating now for prospering while so many Americans are having hard times, that could be a real political dilemma for him.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Susan, are you there through the duration, through the voting?
I'm not. I'm going to stay here for a couple days, and then I'll head back to D.C. to watch the very end of this Florida contest.
It's going to be exciting. Big state, different state than South Carolina and New Hampshire, because it's so huge that it has different kinds of people, more resembles a national Republican portrait. So we'll see what happens. I'm Frank Newport, Gallup editor-in-chief.
I'm Susan Page, Washington bureau chief for USA Today.
And this is Election Matters.